Dennis Hope is a real estate mogul. Okay, this isn't a clickbait title. This man really does think that he owns the moon, and legally speaking, no one stopped him. In the 1980s, this guy took a trip to a San Francisco courthouse, and while he was there, he filed a claim saying that he owned the moon, all of its planets, moons, and satellites. And get this, no one objected. So he just went ahead and started selling plots of lunar land for $20 a piece. And now here's the kicker. People actually bought it. They laughed at first, because who would buy land on the moon? But then they saw that he was making millions, and suddenly everyone wanted in. So how did this guy sell the moon? Well, let me tell you. Our story begins in 1980 with a struggling entrepreneur named Dennis Hope. Now, Dennis had big dreams, like buying an island and starting a commune, the kind of stuff that you can't really do without money. Then one day, he read about the UN Outer Space Treaty, which basically said that countries couldn't own the moon, but didn't say anything about owning it himself. So he filed some paperwork claiming the moon and all its planets. Then he waited. When the government didn't respond, he assumed that meant he didn't have to prove his claim, so he just declared himself the sovereign ruler of the moon. A few months later, he founded the Lunar Embassy and started selling real estate on the moon for $20 per acre. Now, his pitch was that these were actual deeds to land on the moon, and if you bought them, he'd send you a certificate with coordinates and everything. Of course, there was just one small problem. He didn't actually own the moon. But did it matter? Well, over 6 million people decided not. That includes celebrities, CEOs, and even 2 former presidents. Some corporate types tried to buy whole craters, but Hope had a simple solution for that. He just said those areas were already sold out. In fact, by the 1990s, he was raking in tens of millions of dollars a year. So was it legal? Was it a joke? Was it fraud? Well, most governments just ignored him, but Hope took that as a sign that they accepted his lunar deed. So he created his own lunar government, complete with passports, currency, and even a constitution. Of course, critics called it all a scam, but Hope just kept selling moonland, and eventually SpaceX and NASA stopped responding to his emails. Undeterred, Hope warned that he'd sue anyone who trespassed on his moon, which got a lot of people wondering, do we actually own space? But that's a story for another time. Today, Hope is still selling moonland, and he still has big dreams, like building a lunar city. But hey, if that doesn't work out, he can always fall back on his real estate business. After all, in the modern world, ownership is paperwork, and the moon was just sitting there. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.